Good morning, friends. Welcome to Sunday Catch Up. My name's Adam Holmes. I'm a songwriter from Edinburgh in Scotland. I'm currently making my 9th solo studio album, and I want to speak to you today about mind management. Why? Sounds quite boring, doesn't it? Mind management. But actually, it's the one thing that's led me to every single success in my life. It's the one thing that's led me ultimately to feel good, to just feel like it's okay being a human, being alive, enjoying my life. That's the ultimate success, right? Is to wake up every day and feel okay, feel confident, feel happy, feel good enough to take risks and live a really big life. And I'm going to tell you in this video every single thing that I've used across the last 15 years to manage my mind, to create, honestly, the life of my dreams. I love my life. I live in this amazing house. I have great friends. I have an amazing relationship with my daughter. I only do stuff I want to do. I make music. I coach people. I help people make their albums. And it's all because of my ability to manage my mind. So I think this is going to be a really fun episode. I think you're going to get loads of value out of it. So thanks for being here. This week I've been hanging out in Edinburgh, and it's my girlfriend's birthday today. So last night, I'll be honest, we had a few extra beers. There's a little bit of haziness, but that's all good. We're going to have some nice breakfast and go for a bit of a walk. And I'm looking forward to that. Rosa's at her mum's this week, so I'm missing her. And it was the Meadows Festival yesterday where I live, which is like a big village fair where I live in it. And it felt a shame not to have my daughter Rosa be with us for that. But looking forward to seeing her. She comes back on Wednesday. Tomorrow I'm going to help a new friend, Lamo, make an album. She's making her first proper big recording. So we're going to a studio. We're going to go and do that. I'm really excited to do that. Monday and Tuesday are my big coach days as well, coaching folks. So I'll also be doing that. Looking forward to it. And thank you for being here. What is mind management? I believe mind management is the ability to redirect thoughts. Did you know that when a pilot flies a plane, we have this idea he is flying or she is flying in a straight line, that there's this predetermined destination and the pilot flies in a straight line to get there. In actuality, what the pilot's job is, and I have a friend called Grant who is a pilot, and he told me this, the pilot's job is to redirect the plane when it comes off course as you fly. So let's say the pilot starts in London and he's going to New York. And as he goes from London to New York, the plane just keeps gently getting bobbed off course. And his job is to bring that plane back on course each time the plane goes off course. It's similar to sound engineers. When a sound engineer is at a gig, often what they're doing is they're waiting for something to go wrong. They're waiting for feedback. They're waiting for something to be too loud. They're waiting for something to be too quiet. They're there to course correct. Mind management is the ability to course correct your own life. It's mental discipline. Without it, we are feathers in the wind of life. Without mental discipline, we are feathers in the wind of life. We have ultimately no direction without mental discipline. We're just at the whim and mercy of any impulse or anyone else's impulse. Think about your phone. What is your phone? It is an organizational system for other people's demands of you. So anyone who wakes up and goes straight onto their phone and just gets into all their messages and advertising, all this different stuff, is a feather in the wind of life. Because other people are always going to have an agenda. Other people are always going to have their best desire put forward first. So there's a great example. If you wake up and just look at your phone in the morning, you've set yourself up to be within the vibration of other people's desires for you for the whole day. Mind management is the ability to course correct, to bring yourself back on course. And mind management is the ability to actually define your own course. Because imagine my friend Grant flying the plane, and he goes, I'm going to go from London to New York. And he gets on the plane, starts flying, and someone goes, hey, let's go to France. And he goes, oh, cool, okay, and just starts flying over to France. How crazy would that be? And yet that's what so many of us do in our everyday life, is we have a course, we have a plan, someone comes in and it's someone that we care about and it's someone that we want to give time to, but ultimately we change course simply to, at times, just please someone else. We get off track. And these techniques are going to give you the ability to stay on track. How do you get more direction in your life? I use a little acronym, and I use it every day because I have to use it every day. The acronym is TAR. Thought, Action, Result. Let's take some examples of thought, action, result. If I wake up in the morning and I'm going to do this and record the Sunday catch-up, and I think, it doesn't really matter if I do it today, versus I think this could change someone's life, this could help someone. How do you think that affects the action? Let's just say I even do take the action. Let's say I do take the action of recording this podcast, this video, but I take it with the fuel of the thought, no one cares, or the fuel of the thought, this could change someone's life. How does that change the action I take? Similarly, I could have a side hustle I'm doing or a job I'm doing. I know so many of us work full-time jobs, and I could have the thought, I hate this job, it sucks, it's hard, it's tough, I don't like it, it's a waste of my time. And what action does that take? We've all seen that. We've all been to a restaurant and seen someone who thinks, I'm too good for this job, this is not the right job for me, and they kind of take it out on the world. We've all seen that. It's not pretty. It's not a nice vibe when there's someone who feels that they're way better than the job that they're doing, versus someone who goes, I've got my own life, this is a good job, it pays me some money, I've got a good attitude about this job. You can see that in the world. You can see people who are able to manage their mind. And the way I choose to view it is people who are able to manage their mind are emotional adults. And people who are not able to manage their mind are emotionally children. I used to, at the CD stand after a show, people would come up and they'd want to talk to me, and I'm quite an introverted person. I get my energy from being alone and from being with people, but I definitely recharge from time alone. That's what recharges me. And I used to think, oh man, I can't speak to these. It's just tough. I can't do it. I can't chat to these people. It's too hard. I need a break. And those thoughts created the action of ultimately a bad attitude. That was the result of that kind of thinking, where then the thinking of, actually, they've maybe got a babysitter to come and see me play tonight. Maybe they've been looking forward to this for months. I had one guy came one time. This is what changed my attitude on this. I had one guy came to a show I was doing, and he said, thank you so much. I loved that show. Me and my wife were huge fans for years, and she just passed away 6 months ago, and we'd bought tickets to this gig. And so I've come, it's my first gig I've been to without her. And that really flipped a script. It flipped a switch in my mind where I could see, wow, my goodness, you never know what's going on for people. And I'm not saying you're never going to be perfect. You're going to have moments where you're off. But there's a big difference between someone who is actively doing their best at all times to manage their mind and be an emotional adult, and someone who just isn't. You know, I was in the train station recently, and I was grabbing a quick coffee before the train. Excuse me. And there was a guy who was standing in the queue, or I thought he was standing, I wasn't sure. I said, "Excuse me, are you standing in the queue?" And he said, "Obviously, that's why I'm here." And I thought, wow, okay, cool. I ordered my coffee. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to say something to him, because I came from a place where one sentence like that could get you into trouble. And I'm not that kind of person anymore, but I thought maybe it's a gift to say to him. So I went up to him, I said, "Excuse me, just so you know, I'm a decent guy. I've got a wee kid. I'm not going to create any problems for you today, but you could speak to someone else and they could hear you say that, and they could really, really, there could be a problem, basically." And he said to me, "You're right, man. I apologize." I said, "It's all good. Have a good day. That's it." But there's a great example. It's an unmanaged mind, right? It's a dangerous thing, an unmanaged mind. That's an extreme example, but I want for you to ask yourself, where in your life are you thinking, where's your attitude not that great, basically? So thought, action, result, TAR. That's how I manage my mind. Managing one's mind is the ability to challenge unhelpful thoughts. The number one way that I've been able to achieve all the successes in my life, including making 8 albums, working on my 9th, building 700 club members inside of my club, building 500,000 followers, losing 60 pounds of fat, building 10 pounds of muscle, increasing my steps, overcoming drug addiction, being a great parent, being a patient parent, have all come down to my ability to talk to myself more than I listen to myself. One time I was on a train, and there was a bunch of drunk guys on that train, and I thought, man, this is so annoying, but obviously I had my destination to get to. I don't get off the train, so I'm able to talk to myself more than I listen to myself. I don't believe what I think. And I've created enough evidence now to know that I can doubt the doubt. Doubt your own doubt. You can doubt the doubt in your head by creating more overwhelming amounts of evidence that you are capable. And the way we do that is by challenging ourselves. I'm a very challenging, I fell out with a friend this week because I'm quite a challenging friend to have, because if you have a goal and I hear you talk about it more than 3 times, I'm going to pull you up on it. But the reason is I have to be vigilant about that for myself. So my friends who are getting that challenging version of me are really hearing 1/10 of how it sounds inside of my head. I challenge my own thoughts constantly. And that's been a really positive thing for me. How to know if something is unhelpful. It moves us towards the goal we want, or it moves us away from the goal we want. Now, when I say goal, most people think I mean make money or get a social media follower or lose fat or whatever. Sometimes goals are states of being. My goals are often just my values. So my values are to be patient, to build community, to have confidence. Those are my values. Those are what I've decided for myself that I am going to give to the world, be in the world. And my thoughts at all times are really moving me towards or away from those goals and those values. And so what it's like is in the TAR acronym, thoughts, actions, results. You have thoughts are your fuel, action is your engine, and results are your destination. Now, what a lot of us do is we look at the action and we start trying to change the action without changing the thought, which is like trying to fix an engine that you're pouring the wrong fuel into. You have to have the right fuel. I heard recently that the biggest cause of burnout is a lack of appreciation. I thought that was mega interesting. And it made me think of all the parents who are out there working, single parents without that support, and they're the ones who burn out. Whereas you can work real hard on a goal. And if you have someone going, you're doing great, you're killing it, that's brilliant, good on you, you can really push through a lot of pain. Isn't that interesting? It shows you that the thoughts are the fuel, the actions are the engine, and the result is the destination that you wind up in. So I want you to think about your values as states of being. In this case, I'm talking about patience, community, confidence. They're states of being for me. I want to be in community. I want to be confident. I want to feel patient. So those are the goals that I work on. I like to work on states of being as a goal, because to have just a big to-do list, to wake up in the morning, have a big to-do list, do that list. Okay, great. Maybe you've done the list, but how did you do it? Did you do it impatiently? Did you do it unconfidently? Did you do it in a stressed out way? Because if the answer is yes, then it's probably not been that great of a day. To me, a great day is a day where I feel patient, a day where I feel I'm in community, and a day where I feel confident. So I'm working on those things every day, using my thoughts as fuel. Ask yourself how your fuel is working right now. Ask yourself on that goal that you're working on. Let's say you wanted to make an album. Let's say you wanted to write a book. Let's say you wanted to have a better relationship with your kids, make more money, lose fat. Ask yourself how your fuel is working. Let me give you an example. If you want to lose fat, are you thinking, I hate my body, I'm such a fat lump, I look terrible? Are you trying to hate yourself into being a better person? That doesn't work. I've tried. I tried for like 10 years to just hate myself into being a better person. Turns out, does not work. Why? Because it's like pouring diesel into a petrol engine. It's the wrong fuel. So you can be taking all the actions. Do you see what I'm saying? You can be doing the steps. You can be eating the different foods. I'm telling you, if that fuel is wrong, you're not going to get there. Or if you do get there, you're not going to stay there. Even if you get to that good destination, you're not going to stay there. Make sure your fuel is working. Your nervous system needs to be regulated. This is one of these terms. It's a bit of a buzz term that you hear now, but it's true. What do I mean by your nervous system needs to be regulated? What I mean is if you are dysregulated, aka having emotional meltdowns in a way which is uncontrolled for you, you're not going to be able to do TAR. You're not going to be able to just manage your mind because there's fireworks emotionally going off in your nervous system. So how do you regulate it? Sleep, exercise, diet, and therapy. I'd put therapy at the top of sleep, diet, and exercise, because when you think about sleep, diet, and exercise, they're all actions. Therapy is the thought. Therapy is like the petrol station. So go to the petrol station of therapy and make sure you've got the right petrol. Because if you're just dousing your petrol engine in diesel and then trying to sleep well, trying to exercise, trying to diet, you will fail. You just will. That's how it is. So therapy first, diet, exercise, and sleep. And if you're struggling to maintain discipline with diet, exercise, and sleep, it's probably because you've never chatted to a therapist, would be my guess. I've got 5 questions. They're going to help you manage your mind. Once you can manage your mind, the world is yours, my friend. It's all yours. You can have it all. Number 1, do I believe it's perfect somewhere else? The biggest attribute of mind management is simply decisiveness. Be decisive, make a decision, make mistakes along the way, learn from it, get feedback, accept that there was never a perfect path, and crack on, get on with it. Number 2, do I want to make mistakes or be a failure? Do I want to make mistakes or be a failure? What is failure? Well, you can only fail if you stop. You can only fail if you stop. So the only failure is not to try. The only failure is not to make mistakes. Isn't that interesting? The only way you can fail is to not make any mistakes. So hurry up and make some mistakes. Get on with it. Number 3, is my fuel good fuel for the engine? Are the thoughts that you're currently thinking taking you to the destination that you want to get to? Or are the thoughts you're currently thinking moving you away from the destination? And a clue is, if they're hateful and negative, they're not going to work. Not long term. They might get you a few results, but they're not going to work long term. Number 4, am I making my feelings king? Oof, big one. Big one, friends. Do you think you need to feel good to make a difference in the world? Do you think you need to feel good to feel fulfilled? Do you think you need to feel good to feel confident? Take the focus away from feeling good. And the more you do, the better you're going to feel, ironically. Stop trying to feel happy. Stop trying to feel pleasure. And instead, focus on thought, action, result. Focus on regulating your nervous system. Do the work. It's the only important work. Work on yourself more than you work on anything else. And then everything else takes care of itself, because you're that beautiful trunk of that tree. All your fruits are going to grow from there. Work on yourself every single day. Listen to that bird. That's an awesome noise. Don't know if you can hear that. Very cool. Number 5, am I the king of my kingdom? Or am I the queen of my kingdom? Queendom, whatever. You have to feel like you are the ruling force over your domain. Because if you feel like you're someone who wakes up and opens up your phone and the kingdom happens upon you, happens to you, the queendom, the kingdom, you're never going to feel regulated. You're never going to feel like you're the master of your fate. Are you the king or queen of your kingdom? I feel like I am the king of my small kingdom, and I'm under no illusions that I am on a higher plane or any better or any different to anyone. I just feel like an emotional adult. I just feel like I can consistently walk into most situations and most of the time feel like I know roughly how I'm going to respond to that situation. And it's been the greatest gift that I've given myself. And I gave myself this gift through therapy, through working on my thoughts. One recommendation I would give you is journal in the morning and ask yourself what you want your day to look like. Reflect on the day at night and ask yourself whether you lived in alignment with your own values. Do that for a month. I've been doing that for years. I take 15 minutes every morning, and I am the king of my own kingdom. And it's the most beautiful feeling. And honestly, I wish you to have that feeling too, because it really makes life worthwhile. It's not a main character. It's not a main character energy. It's the sense of I have a responsibility over my small kingdom, my small corner of the universe. I have a responsibility to show up fully, to show up wholeheartedly, to show up as the best version of myself, and to offer value. Hope you guys have loved this episode today. Come and join my club for hours and hours and hours more like this if you're already in the club. Love you guys. And everyone have a great Sunday. Peace and love. See ya.